Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a diaper-free update, diaper-free kind of response to my last video. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down in the description box below, but there was a lot of controversy surrounding that video, and so I just wanted to kind of do an update and let you guys know a little bit about some of the frequently asked questions on that, give you some more information on that, and how it's going now. Eli is now 7 months old, and so it's a really different process than it was at the time that I made that video when he was about 3 months old. So when I say diaper-free, what I am talking about is not trying to force my child to pee or force him to be potty trained as an infant. Sometimes it's known as natural infant hygiene, elimination communication, and it's just a process of trying to recognize your baby's needs and helping them when they need to eliminate. As a parent or the caregiver, tuning into your child and seeing when they're giving you kind of cues as to when they need to use the bathroom, and if you can help them out with that, might as well. That's kind of my thoughts on it. It's not for everybody. I feel like I say that all the time, but if it is something that you are interested in doing, it's a really wonderful process and I highly recommend it. Contrary to popular belief, or just at a glance when you kind of see my video and you think, what is she doing, potty training an infant? It's not infant potty training. It's gentle, it's natural, it's non-coercive. I'm not forcing my baby to go to the bathroom. What's really great about e-seeing is it's really surprising and really wonderful to see how fast your baby communicates with you, and it really kind of eliminates the need for potty training in the future. And while I live in the US and maybe this seems kind of foreign, there are definitely people who do this in the USA. There's really nothing crazy or foreign about this, but I do find that with this and with anything vegan related or with anything where you kind of push yourself outside of the norm, the first thing that people want to do is criticize. And I understand it comes from a place of fear, it comes from a place of not knowing, it seems foreign, it seems weird, why would you do that? But when you start to investigate it on your own, if it's something that you are interested, you see that, hey, you know what, this isn't weird, it isn't crazy, it's not, you know, psychotic, I'm not in a cult. All these things actually make sense, and it's just something that maybe you are not exposed to, and so it seems unfamiliar. And just for clarification from some questions that people had before, I do use cloth diapers as a backup. I use pre-folds for him while he's sleeping at night, and I use a G diaper when we go out, like to the grocery store and things like that. When he's at home, I don't keep him in a diaper. I keep him in just a little pair of pants or something that he feels comfortable in. Basically, the point of using a backup, if that's what you decide to do, is for you to be able to observe cues. You can see quickly if they've peed, whereas opposed to being in a disposable diaper, you might not know for quite some time that they've gone to the bathroom already, unless you go and you feel how those chemical little fibers inside the disposable diaper have kind of gelled up. With a cloth diaper, it's much easier. A cloth diaper without a cover, even easier, because you can tell right away if your baby is wet and you can go and respond to that. And that kind of gives you the opportunity to pursue communication with your child without stressing about it and without stressing the child out. There have definitely been times when I've gotten kind of obsessive about the timing of everything, and I've just realized I need to calm down and just let it be, because I will stress the baby out that way. But when we're both calm and we're both at ease, it's a really simple process. Other reasons I decided to do this, and I'm still super jazzed that I am doing it, first, environmentally. Whether you agree that disposable diapers never biodegrade or whether you believe that they degrade in over 500 years, either way, it's a really long time. It's longer than our lifetime, longer than our children's lifetime, and these things will still be sitting around. So environmentally, that is a big deal for me. Cost effective, it's a huge cost saver. It saves so much money. I'm not forking over money weekly to buy disposables. The cloth diapers that were purchased initially are still what I'm using, and I don't really see a need to have to buy anything further in the future, which is awesome. Doing this method, I know that my baby will not have any diaper rash. He's never had any kind of diaper rash at all. There's no discomfort for him wearing a wet diaper for a long amount of time, which I feel really good about. He actually, whenever I go to put a diaper on to take him out, you know, on an errand or something, he's not the biggest fan of wearing a diaper, so he just feels better feeling free. Imagine as women, if we had to wear a menstrual pad constantly and it was wet, and you know how uncomfortable that feels, and it's heavy and it's bulky, and I mean, that would just be awful. So I kind of equate sitting in a wet diaper to that for a baby. Of course, you're gonna feel better when you're free. It's a very respectful practice towards the baby. It gives the baby self-esteem. when he gives me a signal and I understand that signal and I take him to go use the bathroom and he uses the bathroom, that raises his self-esteem, makes him feel like he is heard. And I think that's a really important byproduct of doing this. It has nothing to do with actual elimination, but it has everything to do with helping your child find self-esteem early on. The lack of poopy diapers is amazing. I can honestly say there has been only 4 or 5 times in the whole span of his life, 7 months at this point, that I've had to change a poopy diaper. I mean, that's amazing. And the times when I've had to change a poopy diaper, man, what a mess. It's such a mess. Like, how do you get poop at the back of your head and all the way down to your ankles? That only happens in a diaper. This does not happen when you use elimination communication or the diaper-free method, and it's so much cleaner. You just wipe it away with some water, put his little butt under, the faucet if you want to, or you don't have to put him in the sink at all, because I know people get crazy about that. But it's so much easier to wipe him up after this and keep him clean. It's a lot easier when I am on the go. And when I am on the go and I do have him in a diaper, and like yesterday, he was giving me signals and I was in a store and I just thought, oh, I'm sure he's peeing right now. Let me see if I can find a bathroom, and at least I can change his diaper. I went to the bathroom. He had given me the signals in the store, and he was dry. He was completely dry. I gave him the opportunity to eliminate, and he did right then, and then I just stuck his pants back on, and we left. I didn't have to worry about the fact that it was a tiny bathroom. I didn't have to worry about the fact that there was no diaper changing table. It just makes things so much easier. A lot of people took issue with the fact that I let my baby pee in the sink. God forbid, I know. There are a lot of different ways if you don't want to have your baby eliminate into the sink. There's many other ways you can do it. You can use a top hat potty for a smaller kid. You can use the little regular like toilet training potties, the little potties for them. You can use a kiddie seat over the toilet. You can use any kind of receptacle. You can use a Tupperware. You can use any kind of leftover, recycled, packaged something, just something like this big, so you can stick their little bottom in there or over it and they can catch the pee. It doesn't have to be a sink. Eli loves the sink. He loves the action of being able to see himself in the mirror. He likes to hear the running water while he goes to the bathroom, but believe me, it's not the only way. You can do it so many different ways, just as long as there's something for them to go into, and then you can toss it into the toilet. And here's another one that I haven't tried, but a good friend of mine uses, and I know that people will be outraged by this, is that just let them pee outside. They can pee on the grass if they need to. And for goodness sake, obviously I'm cleaning and sanitizing the sink after he pees in it. I'm not just letting it sit there and then just throwing in my dinner to soak in the water. It's very sanitary. I make sure that I clean up all the time. And the same thing, if you were out in nature and you had to pee and there was no toilet, would you go in your pants? Probably not. You'd find a tree and you'd pee against the tree or squat in a bush. The same thing goes if you were sick or you had to vomit. Do you just swallow the vomit because you don't want to put your head near the toilet where people pee and poop? I mean, let's just think logically about this. It's just a little baby. It's primarily breastfed milk from a very clean diet. It's not that big of a deal. And if it gets a mess, you just clean it up. Also, I just wanted to throw out there that there are no studies out there at all that say that e-seeing is harmful for your baby. I'm not sitting here trying to potty train my child as a newborn. I'm just encouraging the opportunities to go to the bathroom, and I think that's a really wonderful thing. There are multiple studies showing that holding their urine or holding their poop it can be hurtful to them, can cause a UTI, can cause constipation, but I can tell you firsthand, Eli doesn't have a problem with any of that. As far as pooping goes, it's a regular event every single day, and boy does he give me signals. He does not want to sit in a poopy diaper if he doesn't have to, and it's one of the most amazing things to see him give you a signal and you be able to catch that signal and help him out. It's awesome. This whole system might sound really weird, but given a global perspective, it's not weird at all. Many countries, many civilized countries around the world do this, have done it for centuries, and it's not called diaper-free, it's not called elimination communication, it is just what they do. In these societies, babies are normally toilet independent by 6 months of age, as opposed to in America where it's 3 years of age. So something to think about there. At 7 months of age, Eli is doing really well with diaper-free. I feel that there's quite a few milestones that we have reached and some that we're still striving for. But what's wonderful is when he takes his naps, he doesn't wear a diaper at all, and he always stays dry throughout the whole nap. He's getting more mobile, and we just moved to a new house. So when things kind of are a big change for him, then I can see a little bit of regression. But now that he's getting used to the house, we're getting back on a better sleep pattern because of feeling more normal and at home. He's doing so much better. And in those times of transition or times of mental development or just kind of a leap of growth. So in these moments, I rely more on timing and try not to stress about, you know, if he misses. It's just pee. Just throw the thing in the wash with the rest of the laundry, and it's over and it's done with. Right now, I feel it's really a critical time for him because as he's growing, he's really assessing his own ability to control his functions and seeing how long he can wait or how short he can wait, and just seeing him kind of logic through that is really amazing. And his signals are going through changes as well. What would signal at 3 months is no longer the case at 7 months. But what's really wonderful, as he grows, I grow in learning how to communicate with him and learning to read his signs, and it's really wonderful. Some people had asked about nighttime diaper-free, and I do, like I said, I use a pre-fold for him at nighttime, and honestly, we had such a problem with sleep in the last month that to me, nighttime EC is on hold. Sleep takes priority over me making sure that I'm getting to every single pee. Whenever we do wake up in the middle of the night, I always give him an opportunity to pee, and sometimes he takes it and sometimes he doesn't, and it's just not something that's stressed over at all. Sleep is number one in this situation for me, but everybody's different, and depending on what your focus is and what your goal is, that's what you would focus on. So in conclusion, there are so many ways that you can practice this, and you can practice it part-time even if you want. If your child goes to daycare, or if you have another caregiver taking care of them and they don't want to do it, you can do it part-time. The baby responds to whatever you do, it responds, which is amazing. It's a very different kind of approach, and I understand it's not for everybody, but it's really working well for me and my family. And if I have another child, I am hands down doing this as well, because I just can't think to go back. Like, after having experienced this, I don't know why I would want to go back to dealing with diapers, but to each their own, to each their own, to each their own. I want to say that over and over and over. I hope this video answered some of your questions. If you have questions, if you want to talk down below, let's do so. But please, let's keep it positive. Let's keep an open mind. Let's communicate civilly and not be disrespectful. I would never talk to somebody to the face the way that some people have responded to my comments in the last video. So I'm totally open to differing opinions. It's all good. We all are just doing the best that we can, and we're all just trying to find what works for us. And right now, this is what's working for me, and I'm really, really happy with my decision for doing it. And it might not be your decision to do at any point in your life, and that's totally fine. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this or videos about veganism, please subscribe, hit the like button. And if you don't like this video, I'm okay with that too. So everybody have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.